Hey, travel fans, welcome to RTE Travel Talk. Ask a real travel expert. Today we're combining two of my favorite pastimes, river cruising and golf, with a passing glance at ocean cruising as well. Joining me today is Laura Dodson from Cruise and Travel Specialists. Laura is here today to shed some light on two premier cruise lines, AmaWaterways and Uniworld, and their exclusive golf programs. So if you're a fan of golf, you're going to enjoy this episode. If you enjoy the journey with us today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if this video's got you inspired, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and join the conversation. Thanks for being part of our travel community, whether you're a longtime fan or just dropping by. We really appreciate it. And now, on with the show. Hi, Laura. Welcome back to RTE Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. Great to be here today.
It's great to have you with us. So, Laura, one thing that's been on my mind for quite some time, and a lot of my friends who are avid golfers, I'm not an avid golfer, but a lot of my friends are, they want to combine golfing specifically on a river cruise. So I was hoping today that you and I could spend a little time, talk over the options that are available out there. Is it good? Is it bad? How's that sound?
I think it sounds wonderful. You're combining two of my loves, travel and golf.
Well, there you go.
I don't do it well. I'm not a great golfer, but boy, I love it.
All right. So where do we get started, Laura?
I think the first thing that people need to know, there are some great options,
Yeah.
and particularly with the river cruises. There's two in particular,
Right.
AmaWaterways, and then Uniworld also offers a great golf package. You know, I've been at this business for a long time, as our advisors have been, and we do have our Viking loyalist.
Right.
So no river cruise video would really be complete without at least mentioning Viking today, Ken. There's not a golf package per se with Viking River, but they have some beautiful ocean liners, and they do offer some great golf excursions on some of those.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Some of the destinations where they offer golf excursions is in Australia.
Okay.
They also Norway, but a lot of people don't know, and I found this interesting, Alaska. The focus won't be on Viking today, but I just want to let people know there is an option.
Well, who knew? Golfing in Alaska on a cruise. That's fantastic.
Who knew? Who knew? And then there are, of course, other ocean liners,
Yeah.
which our focus isn't on that, but Azamara. I've got my St. Andrews
Yeah.
sweater on today, and we escorted a group in Scotland. So there are other options, but I'm super excited today to present both AmaWaterways and Uniworld and what they offer.
So just before we leave that, so Azamara, they're linked with Perry Golf, right?
They do a beautiful job. They make it seamless. It's easy.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, let's get down to the business at hand. We wanted to talk about river cruises today and the specific options, you know, if I wanted to golf on a river cruise. So where do we start?
The two that stand out, AmaWaterways, and they have a ship called the AmaMagna. And some people that have done river cruises or are a little bit familiar know it as the biggest ship that's out there. It's double the width of any river cruise. And she sails on the Danube, the lower and the upper Danube. The Magna is gorgeous. She accommodates 196 passengers. She has a beautiful plunge pool up on the upper deck and a whirlpool. The real highlight about the AmaMagna, which is so unusual, she has a full-size pickleball court. So it is really for active people, this ship. I mean, if you're not active, you will still fit in and love it. But if you are, it is a beautiful ship. Because of the size of the ship, the cabins are large.
Right.
I mean, they start at 205 square feet, Ken, and we know in river cruise lingo, that's a good size cabin. And then as you move up into balcony, and they are full balcony cabins, 252 square feet, suites, 355 square feet, all the way up to 710.
Definitely lots of options for accommodation.
There's lots of options. Yeah. She offers wonderful dining options, more so than some of the smaller ships. A great gym, spa, there's spin bikes. I mean, it goes on and on. The AmaMagna is gorgeous. And for these golf cruises, it's the upper Danube. And so it's Vilshofen to Budapest or Budapest back to Vilshofen. And if you do the 7-night cruise, Ama offers 4 rounds of golf. But you can also add Prague, which I highly recommend. Right. If you're going all that way, go to the Czech Republic, and you can do 5 rounds of golf. Ama does their golf package beautifully, seamless. Imagine floating in a boutique style hotel on the Danube, and you don't have to deal with tea times. You have a luxury vehicle to take you to and from your golf course. Meal is provided. They give you tokens for range balls. They take care of your clubs and all of the logistics and clean them. I mean, it's as good as it can get. Ama also allows kids. So for families, and they do have rooms that are triple and quad accommodation for families, and kids can do the golf. The only thing with that is they have to have a handicap of 36 or better, which is about a triple bogey.
Right.
So if you're paying and you want your kid to join, they need to know a little bit about golf.
Well, that's probably due to the courses, or the courses are fairly well high end, right?
They are. What they'll do is they'll couple you with someone else if you don't already have a partner to golf with, and you'll have your golf cart. They try to keep players at the same level of play together. But if you're a scratch golfer and then you're playing with someone like me who's maybe a double bogey and you want to play with that person, they will still allow you to play together. With Ama, you'll have an opportunity to golf in Germany, in Austria, in Hungary, some of the courses, in Slovakia. I mean, how amazing is it to come back to your club or home and say you've golfed in Slovakia?
Yeah, I could see there could be some significant bragging rights around the 19th hole.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Some beautiful courses, some where the Porsche Classic is held, some Nicholas design courses. They really do a great job at it.
Now, Laura, you mentioned clubs. Can you take your own clubs or can you rent clubs? What's the best thing to do there?
For both Ama and Uniworld, Ken, they do recommend bringing your own clubs. And this can be done directly with the airlines, or when you call our office, we can recommend and assist with other companies that can ship your clubs. If you do not want to bring your own clubs, then it's on a case-by-case basis with Ama, and they will make sure that you have rentals.
Okay.
So they do give you that option, and Uniworld also will. Everyone recommends your own clubs. And for people that are really into golf, they're going to be more comfortable playing with their own clubs. And when you're spending that money and going to these beautiful courses, it's a lot easier than starting with rentals.
Yeah, I suppose it only makes sense because for the amount of the investment in it, you're going to want to use your own irons.
I feel that way. Yeah. And, I'm only a double bogey golfer, but I feel that I'm more comfortable with my own clubs. The golf averages, it's an additional cost to the cruise, and it averages with Ama about $620 to $630 a round. Of course, it has a lot of inclusions, and like you said, those bragging rights. Yeah. Very seamless, wonderful vacation. I think it's well worth it. The other thing I love about Ama, let's say you do the 7-night cruise and you purchase the four rounds of golf. There'll be 2 ports of call, including Vienna, where you'll still have an included excursion. You can go bicycling with Ama. You can go to the Schönbrunn Palace with Ama. And then the ships, when they're on the Danube, pull into Linz. Linz is the port or town where you get an option, at least with Ama. You can go to Salzburg, that's Sound of Music, or you can go to Český Krumlov in Czech Republic, and it is a wonderful port, really fun. I've been there and had lunch, and great historical sites and things to see there as well.
So just so we're kind of clear on that, this is kind of an add-on, right? So for example, if I'm the golfer in the family and wanted to make use of those 4 rounds, and Deb, who could care less about a golf course, there's lots of things for her to do because I'm assuming there's still the same excursions in every port that you come along, just that hubby's off golfing, right?
You got that right. And a lot of times people don't realize, we book groups.
Yeah.
So you'll have clubs, you'll have a women's group. We've got a lot of lady golfers that are very interested. So don't be surprised when it's the wife that goes off golfing and the husband wants to go wine tasting.
I suppose,
see the historical, right? I mean,
of course.
You never know. And with Uniworld, it's pretty much the same. They only offer 2 rounds, and it's Bordeaux.
Right.
So it's on a ship called the SS Bon Voyage. And with Uniworld, that's one of their super ships. So she's been redesigned.
Okay.
The ship only carries, I think it's 124 passengers, so smaller. You get to play on 2 beautiful golf courses in France with Uniworld. And okay, my French isn't that good, Ken, but so I'm going to try. on this. You have the Grand Saint Molineux. It's ranked as one in the top 10 of
Wow.
golf courses. And then the Cabot, Bordeaux. So beautiful golf courses. And then the rest of the time, you get to enjoy wonderful culture, cuisine, history, and all of those tours that Uniworld offers. Uniworld's a little bit different than AMA in that it's considered an all-inclusive, where all of your gratuities, all of your beverages, meals are included. Having said that, Uniworld does have a few things. They have what is called Masterpiece excursions, and those are for an additional fee, but they're an altogether different type of excursion. I mean, it would be going to a cooking class,
Right.
going to a very old vineyard where there's not just wines, but cognac, the Moulin Rouge. They do some really amazing things on Uniworld, and those cost additional. They also have on the SS Bon Voyage, like a little wine cellar tasting room, and they'll also do a meal in there. That is additional. But otherwise, all of the meals on both AMA and Uniworld are included.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you mentioned groups. I'd have to think, Laura, that this would be an absolutely excellent opportunity for a bunch of people that golfers to travel together.
I think you're right on, and we've done it, so we know.
Yeah.
We have agents in the office. One in particular who is a golf specialist is a member of a golf course. So whenever people call in, they will be routed to one of the agents that really knows their stuff, has a wealth of experience, knows the rivers, knows the ships, understands the game of golf and the love of it. And when working with groups, you get some extra perks and bells and whistles that the advisor will be able to assist and help you on. Having said that, if you're just going, as a double occupancy, we also, working with our office, offer additional perks. So I think it's really important to call an advisor and someone like what our office can offer.
Sounds good. So, Laura, you mentioned that these are kind of like add-on packages to cruises that are already going. How does the financials on it work, Laura? Like, is it something that you pay for separate, or is it part of your cruise? Is it separated out? Is there a particular deposit you need to be able to do the golf portion? How's that work?
I think that's a really good question. So with all of the cruise lines, they require a deposit up front, and they're different based on the cruise line. And your advisor will be able to walk you through that. In addition, for AMA, they will require a deposit of $700 for their golf package.
Okay.
Final payment will be due on both the golf package and the river cruise at the same time, which is approximately 120 days prior to departure. With Uniworld, they always charge 10% is what their deposit amount is of your cruise. Then they require the full payment for the golf package. Final payment will be 90 days out on their river cruise portion. And both of the cruise lines have different terms and conditions on if you need to cancel the golf or if you have to, for some reason, cancel your cruise.
Right.
So the terms and conditions, the advisor will go through all of that and let you know prior to you spending any money.
Yeah.
The other thing I think that's really important as it relates to money or the financials is you're going to want an advisor that's really well versed in insurance, even insurance if you're taking your own golf clubs. You want those insured. Those are
that's true.
your pride and joy.
Well, that's true. There can be a big investment in those clubs.
There is.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the financials tied up. You and I both know, like last year, there were some issues with water levels on some of the rivers, and you can run into weather a lot of times. Is there anything that you advise your clients when it comes to this sort of thing, what to help with that?
I think the first thing, and it's like all things in life, even if I'm doing a round of golf here in Portland, Oregon, where we reside, I know Mother Nature can rear her ugly head.
Yeah.
As it relates to the rivers or even ocean, we know sometimes the rivers can be high, can be low. The river cruise lines will do everything in their power to take care of you.
Yeah.
This can be in the form of refunds. They will reroute. Sometimes when people are looking at river cruises, they'll call and they'll say, well, what if it becomes a busing tour? Sometimes they'll put you up in beautiful hotels, the same level of accommodations as what you're experiencing on the ships with meals. They will still get you to your excursions or to your golf. I say you have to go in with an open mind. And my clients, so long as I offer full disclosure, let them know that anything can happen. It normally doesn't. Things normally go beautifully. But if you go in knowing it could happen, then you're a little bit more comfortable with it. As your agents here in the US, we will try everything to advocate on your part and to assist when we can.
The river cruise companies themselves do a wonderful job in mitigating that.
They do.
If something does go wrong, they truly stand on their head. And the fact you mentioned the hotels, like the hotels that AmaWaterways uses are amazing.
I totally agree with you on that. As it relates specifically to the Gulf,
Yeah.
they will do what's called a rain check. They'll try to get you to another, golf course or on another day,
Right.
or they will do a partial or full refund depending on what the situation is.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So it comes to the day that we're there and it's absolutely spilling rain. How do they handle that?
Yeah, that depends. As an example, my husband's out golfing today and it's raining.
Yeah.
So, rain and golf, you can still golf. I say bring some weather gear.
Yeah.
But if there's an electric storm, the golf courses do close down during lightning.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Then there would be some form of reimbursement for your golf. And they will try to do everything, but we know with Mother Nature, you never know. But the cruise lines will go above and beyond and try to make up for it and to take care of you.
When I'm thinking about this, I think what it comes down to is having a strong relationship with an expert travel advisor like yourself in order somebody that's been on these river cruises to know what's available. Would you agree?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Ken, these river cruises are in hot demand. We have invested so much in understanding these rivers, the cruise lines. We've established wonderful relationships with them. You will get extra perks that you wouldn't get booking directly with the cruise line. We'll handle everything along with the cruise line.
Well, that's just super, Laura. If folks wanted to reach out to your agency about a possible river cruise with a bit of golf thrown in, what's the best way to get hold of you?
Give us a call. Mm-hmm. The phone number is 503-641-5225, or you can email us at info@cruiseholidays. Info is INFO at. Now, cruise is spelled a little differently. It's CRUZ, and then holidays is plural.com. Reach out to us. We will take great care of you.
Perfect. Well, Laura, this has been absolutely great. But as always on this show, one of the things that is special to me is I get to live vicariously through the travels of all the wonderful people I get to interview. So I have to know where you and Todd are off to next.
I think next, Ken, we might try a Danube again. He's now very interested, my husband, in doing one of the golf cruises off the river. We've done it in the UK.
Oh, good.
He's very excited about this, and I think that might be our next great adventure.
Well, that sounds like a plan. So when you and Todd do that Danube cruise and do the golf portion, we'll have to have you back to regale us with your adventures. How's that sound?
I'd love it. I'd love it. Yeah.
Well, with that, Laura, I'm just going to wish you safe and happy travels on all your future cruises and destinations. May the wind always be at your back. And I hope to see perhaps you and Todd in Jimmy's Bar on board the AmaMagna sometime soon in the future.
You got it.
Take care. And that about wraps it up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Laura Dodson of Cruise and Travel Specialists. If you'd like to reach Laura or one of her expert advisors, I will leave their contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach out to us with a question or a suggestion for a future video, you can send a question to questions@realtravelexperts.com, visit our website, realtravelexperts.com, or simply leave a comment. We always respond. And as always, folks, if you enjoyed this content, a like, share, subscribe, and a ring of the bell is certainly appreciated and helps other folks just like you to find our content. So until next time, happy travels.